One thing that grinds my gears more than anything else is when God's own people are misleading his people. Let's talk about it. I heard an influencer say the other day that she didn't manifest her life, and that manifestation tells you that you're supposed to raise your frequency and have control. Manifestation is not worldly, it's not carnal, it's not demonic. Manifestation is simply the outcome. It's the byproduct of who you become when you align with God's will for your life. I understand that the world has taken the term manifestation and just left God out of it, and that's wrong. But instead of sitting back and being like, well, the world uses that term, that's worldly, you can't say the word manifestation. Why don't we say things like, let's give manifestation back to God, to its rightful owner, God. And now I fully understand why God gave me this assignment. Because I'm not just going to sit back and let everybody say whatever. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian, if you're a Catholic, if you're a lefty, righty, this or that, Republican, Democrat. I don't care. None of that stuff matters. You're made in the image and likeness of God, and that's all that should matter. But that's why I fully understand why God put me in the position to talk about the things that I'm supposed to talk about. Why he revealed those deeper things in him to me. Because I'm not going to let anybody say something that isn't true. The reality is that when you have your own experience with God and he's revealed things to you and it's your experience, nobody can take away your experience. Nobody can take away your experience because you lived it. I fully understand my assignment because when God first showed me what he wanted me to talk about, I was like, no way. And I cried when God initially revealed to me that he wanted me to talk about manifestation. And I'm like, why? And I heard him so clearly say, set my people free. And it doesn't matter if it's today. It doesn't matter if it's tomorrow or next year. It doesn't matter if it's one person that hears this and understands that manifestation is, first of all, a biblical term, and secondly, it's just alignment of our mind and body to our spirit. It's the way your spirit, your mind, and your body all align with the will of God to manifest his will on earth. That's what it is. Just because the world uses the term doesn't mean that as Christians or as believers, those who are saved by grace, we should not just be putting God in a box. Like, we're putting God in a box to say we're made in his image and likeness, but there's nothing about that matters. We are not powerless. So if you want to believe that you're made in the image and likeness of God and that your thoughts don't matter and your words don't matter and your feelings don't matter and what you do doesn't matter, it all matters. Because the fact of the matter is, when you're not feeling good, that's your own mind and body in misalignment from your spirit. Your spirit was created for purpose. You were created for purpose. Anytime that you're misaligned from that, you are going to feel like crap. And that's just the reality of it, because God did not create us to be in conflict with ourselves. But when the spirit wants to express itself and the mind and the body are not in alignment with that spirit, you're going to not feel good. That's where stress comes from. That's why life feels hard. You start to flow. You start to feel different things. Start to feel easier when you are aligned with the will of God. Your very own purpose for which you were created. We are made in the image and likeness of God. So we are like God. Just like our children are like us, we are like God, whether you want to believe it or not. Our thoughts matter. Jesus was completely clear about what we should be thinking about. This is what New Age calls frequency, because God's thoughts are higher than our thoughts. In order to tune in to God, you have to tune in to his frequency. To hear God, you must adjust the frequency and drown out all the other noise. By this, I mean being still. This is why the Bible tells us, be still and know that I am God. And if you read the word, you know that know means to experience. When it said that Mary knew not a man, it means that she never experienced a man before she became pregnant with Jesus. So be still and know means be still and experience that I am God. To tune into God's frequency means that you are being still. You're not going to hear God's voice if you're thinking about all the other million things that you need to get done. It's in stillness that you hear from God. This is why when you're taking a shower or when you're doing something in the form of self-care, self-love, you hear from God because you're in presence. You're in His presence, in the present moments, in the eternal moments where He dwells. That's God's frequency. It's just where He is. It's just where He is. We are manifesting every day, whether we're doing it consciously or unconsciously, intentionally or unintentionally, because your thoughts are constantly creating something in your life, because the way you think is how you feel, and how you feel is how you act. When you feel good, you work out or you're productive. When you don't feel good, you're stagnant, you procrastinate, you get stuck in overthinking and looping and looping and looping. Like, do you guys that talk about manifestation being worldly not realize that manifestation is simply the way the unseen becomes seen? The way the invisible becomes visible? That can be a thought, an idea, an intention. It could be a vision. It could be anything that is unseen, but you see manifest into your reality. It's the Word becoming flesh. Before God created us, we were an idea. Jesus was the Word that became flesh. I don't understand this whole misconception about what manifestation is. A manifestation is literally written in the Bible. The word is all over the Bible. I have a King James Bible and I see the word manifest there plenty of times. I think the misconception is that we don't truly understand what manifestation is. So that's what I'm going to clarify right now for you. Manifestation is simply the unseen becoming seen. Walking by faith and not by sight. Manifestation is the way God's will be done on earth as it is already established in heaven. We are spiritual beings. Everything is first established in the spirit realm. Then it manifests on earth. That's what manifestation is. If the world wants to remove God from it, that's their problem. But as image bearers of God and as believers and Christians, we got to do better. Like, we fight each other over whose ideology is right and who's wrong. And when you surrender to the will of God, you become the version of you He created you to be, and then you manifest the life that He created you and designed you to have. That's what manifestation is. Let's do better. We got to do better. We got to do better. I hope this helps.